Township, please.
As required by the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975, this meeting has been advertised in accordance with law.
Roll call.
Mayor Barsney?
Here.
Mr. Dean?
Here.
Mr. Marqueta?
Here.
Mr. Crone?
Here.
Mr. Spencer?
Here.
Mr. Andrews?
Here. Please stand for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting from October 18, 2018, and the special meeting of October 29, 2018. Anybody have any reason that they can't vote on either one of them? I need to split it?
Yeah, split. I wasn't there on the first one.
Okay. So I'm looking for a motion to accept the minutes of the regular meeting from October 18, 2018.
Make the motion?
I'll second it.
Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Mr. Crone?
Yes.
Mr. Spencer?
Yeah.
Looking for a motion to accept the minutes of the special meeting of October 29, 2018.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Mr. Crone?
Yes.
Mr. Spencer?
Okay. Treasurer's report, November's bill list. Everybody, I'm sure, had more than ample time to review it this time.
Brad has several that he's got page marked that just need some explanation, maybe? Is that what you want to do?
I did talk to
And
him.
I want to hold the seating one back until Mike Finelli's here.
Okay, so,
Yeah, the ones I had questioned, I had talked to Lisa this week about, so
Okay.
this one's getting submitted in to insurance, so that's not getting paid this month, and then the others were just more questions as to selection of equipment.
Okay.
so there's only one exception?
Only one
Would you mind
exception.
making the motion then with the exception of, and we'll approve the others?
All right. I'll make a motion to pay all the bills with the exception of Land Tech Enterprises, number 18-01261.
I'll second. Any questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Mr. Crone?
Yes.
Mr. Spencer?
Yes.
There you go, Paul.
Pardon?
The doctor bill.
Oh, are we approving that or holding it?
Oh.
You said you were
I thought
holding.
you removed it out. You didn't take
No, it was here.
Oh, then we should take that one out. It's withdrawn.
Well, actually, that's the one that I just finished, so that's withdrawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that needs to be withdrawn. Right, because he's going to resubmit it to
I'll
insurance.
find out where we're at. Do you know that number?
18-01195.
Who's Dr. Bill for?
It was to Charles Group for one of the officers to go get, I guess, like a physical after injury.
Right.
We just had some questions on whether he presented his insurance card and what we're responsible to pay. So I did talk to Chief about it. Do you want to talk about this now, Brian? or-
Doesn't matter, yeah, sure.
He said that in the past, they have just gone and paid, or we paid the full amount. There's nothing in the contract preventing us for them presenting their insurance card and us paying copay. So we're looking into that.
If it's an on-the-job injury and return to work physical, I don't think insurance, health insurance will cover that, will it?
If the
I don't know.
the township required him to get a physical, then it's township's responsibility to pay the bill.
But,
And they wouldn't take our insurance, we know that, or?
well, that I don't know.
No, they should take the insurance. It's a
No,
physical.
if the town sends the
It's
person
a
to the
physical to
doctor,
return to work from an
then
injury,
it's
I'm
the town's
assuming.
responsibility to pay the bill, not insurance.
It's not
Well, that's why we're asking,
Yeah.
to look into it. I think the medical insurance will cover it.
Okay.
It's not
So,
okay.
did we,
Whatever's not covered. we'll
Yeah,
take a difference.
obviously.
Yeah, just take a difference.
No, I don't think it's right, but anyway.
tax collector's report, what do we have on that? Paul, you know?
Yep, I'd like to make a motion to accept the tax collector's report for the month of November.
Anybody want a second?
October, I'm sorry.
I'll second. Any questions, comments, discussion on the tax collector's report? So long ago you looked at it, you forgot. It's easy.
No, I'm saying, no, I don't have any questions on it.
Okay, roll call.
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
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 Okay. Police Department report. Chief, do you want to come up and give a report?
Okay, for the month of October, nothing, really, jumping out that our arrest, time for the most for the year so far, 16 adults arrested, 1 arrest, 2 DUIs, and, everything else is, kind of all, the same. We had, actually earlier this month, I just want to just praise, we had some car burglaries in the township that stemmed over to Lopakon Township. Within a week, one of our newest hires, Truman Simpson, worked with Detective Glazier. They were able to solve the case within less than a week. Car burglaries are really hard to solve. They're not so easy to go out there and find out who committed the crime. They did that in an outstanding job, and very proud of them. Got a lot of nominations from the victims for that. So, great. The only other thing I wanted to add, and just give you 3 minutes here. The mayor already knows this, so obviously I've got a beer here. We negotiated November this month to raise money for cancer. And I'm trying to get the information real quick here of how much money we raised. Okay, well, I'm going to say it's over $1,000 that we raised. Going to 3 organizations, most notably St. Jude being one of them. So the guys that participated donated money, and then it was posted through our Facebook for people to donate to the cause. So I think it was a really great cause. We'll be following up on it by posting on Facebook. This coming week, we were able to get a grant from Target for shopping. Well, it was basically, it's called Helping a Hero. We kind of renamed it Shop with a Cop. Target donated $2,000 to us to use for kids to shop for their families for the holidays. So we're going to be doing that next week. Each student, 1 student in each grade in the 2 schools were selected to get a certain amount of money, all of them get the same amount of money, to buy a toy for Tots, and then use the rest of the money to buy gifts for their family. And then we're going to have a light breakfast or brunch at Target there. So it's going to be happening next week. We work with the school with it. Black-on Police is going to come over again, and we're going to wrap gifts with the kids as well. So you feel really grateful. We'll be posting that on Facebook as well. And what I forgot to go over the overtime. Did anybody have any questions with the overtime reports that were included?
Nope, doesn't look like it, nope.
Okay. All right. That was the estimate.
I had a question. Any updates on the security cameras? For the park? Any updates on the park security cameras?
Yes, Brad and I had spoken about it, some of the questions that he had. I called Cooper Alarm, and I had actually spoken to his secretary, and he emailed me back with the answers to the questions that Brad had, I forwarded those answers in. Let's see. Trying to see if there's anything that I should look forward to. There's a couple things I can't talk about, but one of them was, Brad wanted to know if the electric was included in running the power to the cameras. It is not. And yeah, I think the other thing was just about mounting that.
When are you looking to have them up by? Any
Well,
time frame?
if we're good tonight, then I think actually I just provided those answers to Brad was it yesterday or today?
Yesterday.
Okay, so I mean that's kind of what we were waiting on. I don't know if you're satisfied with those answers.
Yeah, we just got to clarify on the electric, because I got to understand how the power goes to the camera and what he needs to run to it. So we're just going to talk afterwards and just figure that out.
Okay, and yeah, we're gonna if we get everything hashed out with that, they can start on that, and they don't have to wait for us to get the other parts of the project that we have spoken about that get done first. So we agree to get that started right away.
Okay, thanks.
I assume the temporary cameras are working pretty good, though. I haven't heard any complaints about them, huh?
No complaints. We've been good so far with any other problems up there.
Good. Well, thanks.
Rich, did you address anything with Mike? The passing zone up there?
That was, as soon as I put that email out, the next day, the no passing zone, the lines were painted, so I appreciate that.
Well, yeah, because we had, after this last month's meeting, the committee had asked me to coordinate with the county, and the county had already kind of, I thought, approved both the speed limit and the no passing zone. So I just got the copy of the resolution as well. I was going to bring it up in my report, but, yeah, no. There's one part, half of it's done.
Yeah,
They did not change the speed limit,
No.
correct? Yet, not yet? Okay, that's.
I didn't know that was approved by the county, that was.
I don't have any evidence of that either, other than they made that request of us way back, over a year ago now, when we made that request of them. They said to send us a letter asking us to look into amending the speed limit, which we did, got to be a year ago. So we got a quick response on the no passing zone. I'll follow up with Bill Lee.
I think Joe might have some insight onto the speed limit situation, because Joe and I had a conversation, and didn't the county just decide to, or was that part of the park project, the new lines?
Yeah, some of the lines, you noticed they narrowed Now, somebody told me in conversation in between there that narrowed the lane to, instead of lowering the speed limit, but prevent speeding, with a narrower lane, some studies out there showing that people slow down automatically.
That is true. The narrowing of the lanes, just from my vantage point, has always been kind of part of what the county said they would do, and part of the park project. I thought the reduction of the 50-mile-an-hour zone to 40 or 45 was over and above that.
You're going to follow up on it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and we'll find out where that's at.
Well, I applaud you for your beards and your donations.
Looks good, keep it.
No, I assume they're coming off tomorrow, right?
They are, we'll be taking a picture.
I'm a dinosaur when it comes to that. When he called me, I said, it's a good cause and stuff.
Chief, I have one
I just
question
don't
for you,
like
Joe,
beards with uniform.
I see that you're using another shop up in Milford for vehicle maintenance.
Yes, I started using them, because we need work done, and once we get it done, because, other, places we were using were tied up, so.
Got it, okay.
What's wrong with the places around here?
Was that,
What's wrong with the other local places?
in the past, we've had much higher costs with them.
And it saves time driving to Milford?
It's actually just up by 79. They say consider Milford, I wasn't aware of the.
Well, it's the mailing address, it may not be, right.
Yeah, it's just up by 79.
Okay. That it?
That is.
Thanks, Rich. tell your guys we're proud of them for the donations and all they do.
Thank you.
Okay? Joe, Public Works?
Good evening. Actually, this is my October report, as I've seen on the agenda, it says November. Buildings and grounds wise, the gas and fuel management system has been ordered. As a matter of fact, it's due to be delivered Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we can start the installation of it. DPW poured a concrete pad out in front of the gas pumps and stuff for mounting of it and to take care of that. Also, we poured 2 pads in front of the storage building that were required by the DCA for us to finish up, get our certificate of occupancy. Right now, we're only working on a temporary one since January when we occupied that. We've got a little more work to do to that before we go for the final. The DPW storage building, as stated in my report, the heat was started. The heat's complete in there. The 2 fuel-fired furnaces, probably about the best of that we could get without natural gas in the streets here. And instead of going to full electric heat in there, shows that thermostats are set on 55 degrees. That's where I plan on keeping them. Along with the lines there in the Morris County Co-op, there's home heating oil. 2 weeks ago, the price was $2.39 per gallon. It goes with the market week to week, just like our gas does, with a small delivery charge. I'd like authorization to fill out the paperwork and set that account up, since we're going to need heating oil delivery. Right now, it's just taking it out of the diesel fuel tanks to keep it fired up at this time. Also, got a quote here for the fire alarm system for the new building from Kistler O'Brien, and it included monitoring of the fire alarm system. As everyone knows, we lost that building in a fire because it didn't have no monitoring or any of that type in it at that time. Right now, the quote for that is $6,843.92, and of that, $460 of it is the annual monitoring of it, which is used instead of running phone lines out there. It's a cellular-based monitoring system. So the dialer cellular to send the alarm to the alarm company. This way here, we didn't have to dig a trench for phone lines to be run or to connect it into this system, and then this system would have had to been upgraded because of the one that handled that. And why it was for a budgetary reason, I also asked them to give me a quote for the fire alarm system on this building, because I've been following the prices of that, and right now we changed the alarm company that we had, got bought out. We're paying $429 a year for this facility. Kistler O'Brien's monitoring would be $360 a year, monitoring this building with the landline phone lines that it has. But there's also to update the equipment, it would be another $404, so $764 if we chose at the new budget year to change the monitoring companies here. DPW-wise, leaf collection program started October 29th, and as of my report, 189 cubic yards of leaves have been dropped at River's Edge. We've repaired 2 sinkholes and 5 storm drains. Street lining had been completed. Dumont and Strikers Road, the intersection, turn lanes, yellow and white stripes. A new addition to Wyndham Farm Boulevard North. Can't believe I did that on my own because of even working out in that road, how the people don't stay in their lanes when we're out there working on the side, cutting us off, cutting it close. I figured the yellow line would more delineate the lane and try to keep people in their lanes and maybe help slow them down also, because you get out there in 52 feet of wide blacktop, and Will has expressed even that intersection, people blowing through it.
Good luck out
slow
there.
them down. Excuse me?
Good luck out there.
Yeah, it's super highway,
Yeah.
on Farm Boulevard there. So that was added, and we'll maintain that. Prepping the trucks for winter, we all know what happened 2 weeks ago. Thomas Stewart Park laid out the one field hockey field, 2 soccer fields, and I guess a couple games were played out there. Installed 4 of the 7 sets of trash and recycling cans and 3 or 4 dog waste receptacles. And since the opening of the park, the DPW has done a weekly inspection of the playground and the park garbage and removal once the cans were in place. And the only thing, I did sit in on an open space meeting and had a discussion about winter maintenance of the park and what route we're going to take with that. That's it. Thank you.
Hey, Joe, how about Revere Road, that drainage?
That drain is on my list here within the next next week or so. We went out and the front of it's fallen down and it's got some blocks off the top of it. It's no open hole. There's just small holes. It's coned off for safety reasons.
Okay.
And it's for now.
Did I wake you up that night with that text?
That was a Friday night after the.
Yeah, after I sent it, I said, he's probably sleeping.
Yeah, no, it was, but, okay, thank you.
Get that fox yet?
What's that?
Get the fox yet?
Nope, the spots, I've heard the spots, the bear is kind of, walking through the park.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Paul, do you have any report on the court report, or we just want to accept it as is?
We can accept it as is. I'll make a motion to accept the court report.
Hold on, I'm looking for a motion to accept the police department report for October, the Department of Public Works report for October, the Warren County Board of Health report for October, and the court report for September of 2018. Anybody want to make the motion to
You
accept?
want to do the animal control already, or
What's that?
animal control?
Yeah, we have an animal control in here. It's not listed, yeah.
Yeah.
It came in late.
Okay. And the animal control report, is that one for October?
Yes.
Yes. So I want to make the motion to accept those 5 items.
I'll make a motion.
A second from anyone? Second. Any other questions or comments? Roll call?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Spencer?
Yes.
Committee reports. Anybody have any reports on their committees?
What's that, us, or?
Yeah, any like rec committee, open space
No.
committee, anybody have any reports from anything like that?
No,
Mike Finelli?
reorganizing, right?
Yeah, Mike Finelli?
Oh, for the special report?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Forwarded you our report a few days ago, a couple things to discuss. Item number 2, basically the roadway program. Obviously, there was $450,000 budgeted this year. We didn't proceed with any projects, primarily because of the water main project and how that's going to impact what we're going to do short term and long term. So, I don't know, obviously looking ahead to 2019, whether additional monies are going to be budgeted, which could be added to the 250 from this year, and so forth. I'm sure that'll be a point of discussion next year. But, we were on a roll there for a few years with our annual program. And Joe, I'm sure if you would agree, made some good progress. So hopefully next year we can get back on track and continue the program. But to be determined.
Mike, is anybody monitoring the way they're paving those holes when they're digging up the roadway at all?
Well, I can't say that we're there for everyone, but our office has obviously a presence out there.
I mean, like when they're digging up, say, Washington Street going up here, after they dig it, drop the water line and pave over it, it's horrendous. All they do is bounce going down the whole damn street.
It's pretty bad.
And they're having the same problem on 57 in New Village right now. It's knocking suspensions out, and they had a couple accidents over it already. Because they're just paving and running over with the trucks, and that's it.
Well, I think part of the, and we talked about this, and I've acknowledged that the paving, temporary paving of the trench has a lot to be desired. I mean, they are using, they're not using cold patch, or, they are paving it with, acceptable material. sometimes their methods aren't potentially up to snuff.
Could just dump it in the hole and then rake it in and run it over.
Well, no, but they've got it, they pack it and roll it and whatnot. I mean, they you know, normal. I mean, most of the patches, it's just that, it's not that thick of a section of blacktop, because they fill it up primarily because it's technically temporary. So they fill it up with the DGA above the pipe, and then when they roll it, especially, you know, the trench is fairly narrow in width, they've got that little undulation. And of course, when a car is obviously, hey, you look at it, it doesn't look so bad. When a car drives over it, where I live, I'm driving over it, you know, I took Stewartsville Road, you know, Willow Grove, Barber, so, and people are driving on the other side of the road, including myself, to avoid the patches. It's not good. And what's worse about it, and I'm going to talk about that coming up when I talk about the water main project. The ultimate final repair is now being delayed because of the delay of the project, primarily because of the county permit still not being issued. So they're going to be closing up shop fairly soon for the winter, the way it looks. So that's they had scheduled and hoped to be doing service connections at this point. Well, they haven't done one service connection. They haven't even tested the main yet. They obviously have to do the disinfection of the main and the energy.
What's his answer for the potholes?
No, sorry. Well, maybe I'm segueing into my next item in my report, so consider this a double answer.
I think the answer is there's nothing you can do about it right
Well,
now.
right now,
I mean, it's done, right?
Right now, because it's time of the year and whatnot, yeah, there's not a whole lot we can do about it, and it's not very desirable. I'll be the first one to acknowledge that. I hear about it from...
I mean, is it bad enough, and is there anything that we should have them before they close shop address before they go?
You really should, because it's causing vehicles to go into the other lane of travel because the roadway is so bad, which is creating a hazardous situation.
So, would you make contact with them and tell them that we have complaints where this police...
Can they even correct them now with the cold?
Well, yeah, no, they could.
They could?
I mean, the asphalt plants are still open.
Okay.
Could mill up 2 inches of it and do it smoother, right?
Yes, that's...
Okay, I didn't know they could do it. Yeah, then we should make that appeal at least.
Even just mill the top of it.
They only have to mill this, the width of it.
The width of the trench.
Yeah, the width of the trench, right, yeah, just a couple inches, right?
Yeah, would you just follow up on that with them and
Yeah,
tell them?
absolutely. In fact, well, I actually talked to Armando literally a couple hours ago, late this afternoon, and that was more about, well, the schedule and the status of the county permit and so forth in preparation for tonight. And, you know, they're frustrated as well. And for what it's worth, gentlemen, not that anything's got fixed, I have, and our inspector has as well, voiced our displeasure for the paving work countless times. You know, and they're like, oh, Mike, it's only temporary, I know. Some areas actually aren't that bad. Some areas are fairly smooth, and there's some areas that are far from smooth. Washington Street's terrible, Willow Grove Road's terrible.
Yeah, but they're both 50-mile-an-hour roads. I could see if we were arguing over residential areas, 25, and people who live there would know going home, I better go slow because it's a mess. You got people who are from out of the area or whatever, or going home from work who are in a rush. So I think it's a safety issue they got to address it on, at least on Washington and Willow Grove, and I think that's exactly how it should be posted.
And Stewartsville Road and,
Yeah, I mean, they're rural roads with 50-mile-an-hour speed limits.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky in one respect,
There's
that
something maybe we have Mike?
very little of Stewartsville Road in
That's a letter from
the
Mike.
Greenwich section of Stewartsville Road has been, there's not much work there.
I mean, he's been working with them. If he doesn't get a satisfactory answer, then we'll talk to him about it. But, I mean, he's got a relationship with them. I would hope that they're not going to tell us.
I'll tell you what,
If they're not gonna address it, we feel, and then we might have a follow-up letter to let them know, so if something happens over the winter, they'll be
I'll follow up
responsible.
tomorrow morning with them, and I'll send out an email as far as whatever response I get.
Yeah, there's plows down there.
That's a good point. Is the town, I guess, are we liable? Are there any cars getting in a situation on those roads? Because if we are, then maybe,
Probably.
we need to send that letter out
Our
now.
road, they certainly would be brought into
And
that.
I think we should send a letter out now so that we're not responsible for the liability. Because it could happen right now.
Well, even with the
next
letter,
big concern-
even with the letter, we're gonna get sued. Let's just see if we can't get a simple fix first.
Okay,
Because the next major concern is when the plows go down the road.
Yeah.
you're right. And
Let's see if we get a simple fix. If you
Okay.
talk to them tomorrow and they happen to say, if that's what you want, we'll give them a million, shoot them a million, then we got an answer. If we don't have an answer, or they give us a hard time, then we'll take the next step. But I don't see why we throw a punch right away if we can maybe solve it much easier.
And I actually got, I don't know if you know some of the names of some of the players. The head guy here for Arcadis is a guy by the name of AJ. And I've kind of been our primary point of contact on the project. I actually owe him some information, which I was going to talk to him tomorrow, so I'll kill two birds with one stone. So that actually works well. And I'm sure he's going to say, let me talk to some people, Mike, and I'll get back to you, but let's see what he says. Okay, I guess we'll ask the question. I guess that sums up the OU2 project as well. Nothing else really to talk about. Right now, just from a scheduling perspective, assuming they're not going to be able to get the county permit and continue to work, they probably are going to shut down for the winter time and be back, they think, either late February or early March. But, you know, they're not as far along as they had hoped to be or should be. And there's a lot of work to do still out there with the service connections, the repaving, and whatnot. So, okay. That's the water main project. Okay, park, let's pass on the park for just a second. The rest is self-explanatory for my report. All right. And I understand from Kathleen that there was a question about the land tech bill, which we'll get to that. I mean, I gave everybody the general update on the park. Everybody knows, obviously, we managed to get a TCO prior to Community Day, and certainly I thought, and I think everybody thought Community Day went off very well, and most everyone, you know, liked the park. There's a couple major things left to get done, and most of those relate to dealing with Mr. Sampson to convert, there's the conversion of the TCO to a CO, and there's the contract items with the township, which have really nothing to do with the CO for the concession stand. Those are other items. Zagoda, as you know, Mark Zagoda has been handling the concession stand. He sent a punch list to Bob a couple weeks ago, Bob Sampson. I sent a punch list to Bob a week and a half ago, whatever it might have been. We were hoping to try and get a meeting together this week. That has not happened due to a number of factors, schedule primarily. Obviously, and I believe this to be true, Bob Sampson wants to finish this project as much as we want Bob Sampson to finish the project. But there's a certain items that need to be done, and hence the punch list, and hence the need to sit down and go over things. So that's where we are with that. Thankfully, this concession stand is kind of closed up for the winter, if you will. So, I mean, not that we want to take the winter to finish, that's not what I meant at all. So that's that. Any other questions, Bart, on anything? other than
Well,
what-
my question is, if I can go first, why are we still dealing with Sampson and his problems? There was a June 13th drop-dead beef finish date. Mike wasn't here that night, but we had talked to his guy about starting the clock, about not having it completed. We're 4 months later, and we're still not near. Why are we still dealing with this?
Well,
Can't we get rid of him, get the right person to do it, take it out of the bond? I mean, what's the problem?
well, okay. We could, if, potentially try to go after the bond. The idea of getting somebody else in there, I don't think is contractually possible, like, that quickly, anyway. I mean, that we'd get caught up in, Mike agreed? I mean, we just can't get...
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, we probably should discuss the rest of this in executive.
Okay, all right.
You would have to put the bond company on notice that the work's not being done, and that if it's not done within, say, 30 days, that we're going to go out and get somebody else to do it, and we're going to charge it against them. So that would probably be the first thing. Probably send a letter to the contractor first saying, hey, you haven't delivered, but now we have to find out whether there are other things that, you know,
Well, I guess that's part of my question is, what legitimate delays that caused this are there? But I mean, I'm seeing a 4-month delay here, that when we had a drop dead date. After already a drop dead date, you know, I thought we'd been more than fair.
understood. I think the rest of this conversation, we should have an
Got it.
executive. We're
Okay.
going to be talking about things that might not be helpful to our case,
Yep.
that we're
Okay.
going to public, and then,
All right, so we can drop it for now. I was just late there, so. And then as for the seating contract here, Michael,
Yes.
I don't recall this number being this big, and I had emailed your office last week about bringing it a breakdown.
I have that information which we just...
Because, I mean, I sat here on the bid opening and the follow-up, and I don't ever remember this number.
No, well, number one, to your point, the number, which was, $72,914.33 was the contract amount he was awarded. There has been a change in the scope of the project based upon field decisions that were made, which we can talk about. But from a dollars and cents standpoint, that's exactly what the contract amount we awarded. Now, the landscaping contract was considerably less.
Yeah, no, I got no problem with that. I just don't ever recall, I recall something in the mid-30s, the day we opened that seating. Was there an A and a B, and I didn't see a B? Did B turn up afterwards?
I don't know, Paul, to be honest with you, that's,
I mean, it was a while ago.
It was like 36,000 or something?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought the original
Contract.
contract that we opened that day. And then I see one here for 72,000, so I'm trying to,
no, here. If you go to my report, page 7, and this is going back in time, let me just read this thing. Both the seating landscaping bids were discussed and awards were made for both projects. Landscaping, blah, blah, blah. Land Tech Enterprises was awarded the bid for seating at a cost of $72,914.33 for strictly the base bid items. Remember, there was also an alternate bid for the other...
Right.
Called the Santini cultivated...
Right.
Which we did not do. So, no, that was... I'm sure the minutes reflect that. I know there's correspondence to reflect that. No, that was the number.
Okay. I just remember half that number.
Hey, with this project, you don't have any numbers to...
Right.
Lots of numbers. No, that was absolutely the contract amount. There's not one more penny that we're paying them. There was the scope, primarily, if you recall, there were areas that we had originally per bid called out to be basically torn up, if you will, and replanted. When we went out there, again, because then seating got delayed till October, not delayed, they basically said, we're not coming out until October to do it, because they weren't gonna do it in the summertime. We looked at it, and those areas were pretty green, even though it's not plush grass, you know. So we all agreed that, instead of tearing it all up, we don't have a community day on the horizon, even though at that point it was maybe a month away or 3 weeks away. Let's not tear the place up. Let's approach it a little differently. Let's oversee. Let's fertilize. Let's try to bring those areas back. And again, it's going to take time. I mean, next spring we're clearly going to need to do some sort of I'll call it a stocks treatment, and you know, fertilizing and maybe overseeding again. But again, that's next spring. No, contract-wise though, that's the amount. And here, Paul, let me give you, I made a copy of what they gave me to give to you, because I know you had it flyer. I think you're going to find this interesting. And again, I just got that yesterday.
Okay, all right, I'll read it later.
Yeah, there's lots of good stuff in there, quantity-wise, type of seed, what they did, and so on and so forth. So, and like I said, any other questions?
Mike, what are you, when Paul and I did that walkthrough with you a while ago, you were discussing about drainage along the walking path. Like if you walked up to the concession stand to the left-hand side down the path, about 100 yards, that field was flooded right there. And you were talking about running the French drain down along the walking path to pull that water out to the emergency drain
Well,
put in there.
We did.
It's there?
Yeah.
It's not working.
Well, it depends on the type of storm.
Well, that last storm that we had with all the rain.
We talked about this last month, I think. There was a change order, and add some drainage, but maybe you weren't here well.
Yeah, you did the emergency drain that we knew about like 3 months prior.
Well, we kind of designed something in the field based upon some other conditions and whatnot, and we introduced 4 inlets.
Yeah, I understand all that.
Okay.
I'm just talking about the walking path, because there's no drainage there when I walked it the other day.
Well, but that area was regraded by, well, primarily by the land tech, actually, because the original design didn't have the new inlets on the plans, obviously. So we were looking for sheet flow over the path. Obviously, that didn't quite work out as well as we had hoped. So then, by the introduction of the drainage, you know, we looked to address most of that by just sheet flow into the system, which, and I'm not out at the park every day, far from. From what I've seen, the bigger problem is right in front of the concession stand. That's from a drainage standpoint. That's the area that's a little more problematic.
But that actually has been draining pretty good from walking through with rainstorms. I'm talking down the path, that area we talked about, which is something we can discuss later on, but it was about a foot deep on the side of the path. And it was the area we were going to put the French drain along the side to have it run down.
To tie in with that
Mhm.
long
Something just to look at. Yeah, but discuss it now.
I mean, who's been out there a lot? I mean, Brad, Franny, you guys,
I haven't been
is
out
there,
there.
I mean, I know the area you're speaking of.
I
but
didn't walk that path. I was out there the other night, but I didn't go on that path.
Yeah,
I was out there when it was raining.
Well, I was gonna say, the water's drawn me out there a couple of times, so.
Yeah, I mean, it gets pretty full when it's raining, but then the next day it's pretty much cleared out.
Well, in front of the concession stand is a lot better. I'm talking like,
Yeah, I know that. That's
Down.
over to the left, you're right,
Yeah.
like past the storage building along the,
Yeah.
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Do you
Well,
know how much we need to have left to finish everything? So the money we borrowed, I want to say 200 something left?
well, the big question mark is
Yeah.
from an additional contract or change order standpoint, We still owe Tom Barth for the topsoil, because he hasn't sent us an invoice, but that's...
No, it's here, it's here and signed.
Oh,
Yeah, we got that in.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, he must have sent it directly to here, okay, fine.
House is in it.
All right,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
then Tom Barth? Okay.
17, was it 17 loads, 16 or 17 loads?
17 loads, $10,000 and change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
625.
yeah, that's 17 look, good. Well, okay, then, there you go. Then that's out of future, costs, that's what I thought. There's no more money due Sampson. There's no more money due Aspen. There's no more money due Land Tech.
Oh, just the 10%.
Well, the return
Retained.
retained,
Yeah,
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 well,
yeah.
that's gonna apply to both, correct.
Yeah, yeah.
There's the pavilion.
I think, I talked to Marcus a little bit, we still have to get the backflow preventer into the front. I know it's like a few $1,000s. And we still have to put the electric,
I would think too, the open space fund would fully,
Replenish.
I don't know what's going on with that preservation though, that's been in limbo for a couple of years now. It was like $500,000.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. Like,
you still have paid?
well,
Oh,
I've never heard
okay.
anything about it.
Well, if the county
Like,
has
it's
it,
on like my radar to like kind of
Okay.
keep that to the side, but I've never heard anything.
Well, is that the piece that's been held up
Because of the contamination. Is that the piece? No?
well,
I thought that's what
I
it was.
don't think so. I think that goes back
Follow
to
up
the
with Frank.
original preservation, yeah, Frankly.
I think it was an aqueduct.
You got Frank's email? You want to see him an email?
I do.
You
Why don't
good,
ask
Mike?
him?
I will.
You good? You done?
Okay, well, if we're done talking about the park,
Everybody done with the park? You good, Will?
I just had one thing that along with the park, I spoke to, I called Mike the other day about it. I know it was a beautiful thing, nice or whatever, but I called Mike on a legal standpoint as to a parasailer taking off and landing at the park, and with the park not classified an airport or a designation, what was the liability aspect as to the township, being that the president is right down the road? So I called and spoke to him about it to find out exactly what the legality is, being that the airport is down on Strikers Road rather than the guy taking off and landing. Plus there was kids at the park, on the playground, and in the fields.
So we're researching that, but you certainly can't land aircraft in like a town park, so I know that you can't do it. There's probably a whole host of reasons that we will find out and report back, but I did talk to the chief on the break as well and made him aware of it, so clearly they can't do it without the permit from the town. Number one, you usually have somebody riding four-wheelers out of there, and then from a liability standpoint, yes, that's a huge, obviously liability. Forgetting about the president, just if people are taking off and landing there, and we know that, and something happens, God forbid, so it's like a whole parade of horribles. But
And there was a lot of kids on the playground that day.
I was down watching a baseball game at Bethlehem Township last summer. There was like 3 or 4 of them taking off while the baseball games were going on. Okay. Okay, we're good? Old business. Anybody have any old business to bring up?
Well, I guess, yeah, let's just talk the email system. The last time we had a meeting, one of the questions that came up, and I believe Frank brought it up, was about the reply and no reply. And it can't be set up so that you can reply to it, but John Paul said that instead of trying to delete all of, Lisa could come in after an email blast and delete everything that was replied. We can put it on a do not reply to it and don't, but there's no system that allows you not to really reply to it.
Yeah, that might have been Brad's question. I do,
Oh, okay, I'm
I do
sorry.
have another question.
Okay.
now.
well, it was about the setup, so.
Yeah, the setup. So, how is it going to work? Is it going to, once you put your email in there that you want to receive it, I'm assuming that you're not going to receive it until you get you respond to a confirmation email, right? So that'll prevent, because I know there was an issue, I know Brad, you might have brought it up, that what if somebody put somebody's email in there and they don't want it in there, right?
But this is a way to prevent that. Because if you make, a lot of these systems have this, it's not going to activate until you respond.
So you respond to
To
it?
an email.
Okay. That sounds to me that...
So I think we need to put that in there.
Yeah, absolutely, it
Okay.
should be in there, sure. But anyway, so at this point, Lisa can delete everything without having to check off 400, 600, 1, with just one click, John Paul said, so. So at this stage, again, I mean, we're not ready to start this yet, but that's just cleaning it up. We'll get some clarity on that, and then maybe we'll be able to start to...
I honestly don't know if that's true.
Per what?
Over.
Emails are operable.
Right.
I don't know that you know that I could
Be able to delete them legally.
We should just,
Could offload them and archive them if it's a space issue, or just keep them.
Well, before you can destroy any record, you have to send it down anyway, you have to send a request down, so it would just be a delay. I'm sure they'll allow us to delete them, but it's just, there's gonna be a lapse. It's like any government record, like, you gotta send down...
Right.
All right, so
Can you ask him then?
we gotta find a different system then, so we don't have to go through
But
that.
you know what, though, you're not going to probably get that many replies. And why can't we just keep them there?
Well, here's the thing, I would ask him if you can put a limitation on the size of the email that you'll accept, because you could have somebody attach it.
That's a good point.
Well, I got a couple books,
Yeah, attach some.
So, okay, a limitation size.
No
And-
attachments.
All right, okay. All right, so then, all right, confirmation, that, all right, I'll check with John Paul on that.
Okay. New business is second reading of the ordinance 08-2018, an ordinance to determine and fix the salaries and wages of certain officers and employees of the Township of Greenwich, County of Warren, State of New Jersey. We just need a motion for that? This night public hearing, a second reading, yep. Okay.
I'll make a motion to open for public hearing.
Anybody want a second?
Second?
All in favor?
All right?
Anyone would like to come up and ask any questions regarding the salary ordinance? Come up, state your name and address, and make your statements, comments. It's really a housekeeping issue where we have to set ordinances by, salaries by ordinance, so. I'm assuming that's probably one of the questions somebody's going to say, what is it?
Last month was the first reading?
No one's getting up, so motion to close.
Make the motion to close?
A second. All in favor?
All right?
All right.
Resolution 2018-80, oops. I'm rushing. Okay. Motion to adopt ordinance 08-2018 salary ordinance. So we're going to make the motion to adopt.
I'll make the motion to adopt.
Want a second, anyone?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Roll call? Yes.
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 Abstain, I was here for the first reading.
Resolution 2018-80, resolution authorizing a return of a portion of the performance bond to Polaris Warren LLC, which is also known as the Warren County Library. Anybody will make that motion?
Wait, what was that?
Why does it say 79 on mine?
Well, I have one that says 79 and one that says 80.
She changed it. There was a change from the last
Okay.
agenda to this agenda.
So
Got it.
2018...
You should have the orange agenda.
Sorry.
I don't have it.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Wasn't there.
I grabbed it.
There was a number
I grabbed
change.
everything from my box just now.
I did, too.
Wasn't there.
I
Yeah, I grabbed everything from my box. I
don't have any orange paper.
That's all right. All right.
All right, whatever.
Okay. Anybody want to make the motion to adopt the resolution 2018-80?
Make the motion.
Anybody want a second?
I'll second it.
Any questions, comments, or on it? Roll call? Yes.
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 Resolution 2018-81, the resolution appointing Joe Mexi as OEM coordinator for a 3-year term. Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that. Any other questions or comments on that? Roll call? Yes.
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 Okay, Resolution 2018-82 is a resolution requesting permission for the dedication by rider for donations, acceptance of requesting gifts to the Greenwich Township Police Department. Anybody want to make the motion for that resolution? I'll make the motion for it. It's basically, so could you read it?
I'm gonna have to abstain and get a chance to look at that one.
Okay. It basically allows the police department, through the Division of Local Government Services, to accept donations for certain community programs and stuff, probably similar to what he said tonight, where he's getting the money for the
Oh, all right.
toys for Christmas
Okay.
type thing.
Without this, if we bring the money in, it goes into the general account and
Yeah.
can't be appropriated until the following year.
Okay.
This allows us to put it in a trust fund for him to use.
It's like when we talked about the toys or whatever. Okay. So I'll make the motion for that. Anybody want a second?
I'll second it.
Anybody have any questions or comments on it? Roll call. Yes.
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 Resolution 2018-83, resolution appointing Jennifer Carabelli as tax assessor. Jennifer's in the back, if anybody would like to meet her.
I'll make the motion.
Anybody want a second?
I'll second.
Any questions or comments, other than welcome, Jennifer?
Yes, welcome.
Roll call. Yes.
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 Abstain, I was here for it.
Resolution 2018-84, resolution authorizing the redemption of tax
Oh,
liens,
I'll take this one. That one.
block number 2308. Anybody want to make the motion for the redemption? Brian?
I'll make the motion.
Anybody want a second?
Here's mine.
I'll second it.
Questions or comments on the redemption of the tax liens? Roll call. Yes.
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 Resolution 2018-85 is the resolution for a lease agreement for the police department for the lease of a F-150 pickup truck.
Mayor, I should add, I got the paperwork from Rich yesterday, and I thought that I just needed to do a very quick resolution to allow us to sign it, but there is a pretty lengthy resolution that the lease company
Oh, okay.
had in the back of that whole packet.
I thought this was just the agreement. This is actually a,
Yeah, so when you get, I realized it today.
oh,
On the backside, your waste thing was, stop.
oh.
If it's okay with Mike, I don't know if we need to have him review it, but if he's okay with it, we could just remember that and accept that tonight. When do you need to come back?
Probably not until January. I called the dealership now. That's, the estimated date was given a month ago, but, I didn't hear back yet. So,
We encumbered the funds this year, probably should do it within the year, so we'll do it at the next meeting. So my resolution was simply authorizing us to enter into the agreement. Their resolution is that.
Yeah.
It looks like it says the same thing as leases, but some lawyers trying to prove their worth. And the type could be smaller.
It's up to you.
just to clarify, we went, put forward going with Fulton leasing because it gives lower, interest rate on the lease.
Right.
Much lower than just going through your traditional Ford credit union.
Chick, is this a replacement or is this an additional?
The truck?
The truck, yeah.
It's the vehicle we authorized in the budget this year.
It's
Yeah.
an additional vehicle?
No, no, it's the one
Or
he
is it
did.
replacing an old one?
Technically, we are replacing one of the patrol vehicles, one of the older patrol vehicles we use as a, road, like a road duty car that's not against the law because
Okay.
it's, 2000.
Mike, we can just table until the 20th, it sounds like, if you want to take your time and read it. Why don't we do it that way? The 2018-85, we didn't vote on that, should we just not vote? Or should we all just vote no?
You can do one, you just, because it says that you're authorizing the lease agreement, we can then, if they actually need this document to do it, at least this allows
Okay.
them to move everything.
Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to adopt resolution 2018-85.
Make a motion.
Okay, I'll second it. Any other questions or comments? Let's do roll call on that then, Lisa?
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution 2018-86 is an off-premise 50/50 raffle for the Stewartsville Volunteer Fire Department. I make a motion for that, and then one second.
It says February 11th, 2018. Is that supposed to be 19?
Probably.
Yeah, I just caught that now.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call? Yes.
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 Okay. Passing zone in Greenwich, we've discussed, right? You're gonna take care of that. Park security's been somewhat discussed, right? So we'll go with that. 108 Washington Street demolition quotes, where do we stand on that?
Well, these were just two quotes to give us an idea of what it's gonna cost to bring that down. The one quote, that's $26,000, did not include removing the siding by hand, which is required because of the 0.07% asbestos that's in it. And a few other miscellaneous things. The other quote is, he had the benefit of reading Mike Finelli's report on the property, so they were able to give a much more in-depth analysis of it. But the first company that I used, which again is a local company, wasn't interested in removing the siding by hand or anything. They were going to want us to outsource that regardless. So these are just ideas of the range, but it looks like to demo that property, it's going to come in just under $40,000.
How much?
40.
There's no way to recoup anything on the land for that.
No, it's not looking that way, because then we have to decide, are we going to offer it up to either neighbor on either side for a nominal number, just to keep it on a tax roll? But, I mean, it's not a very big piece
The
of
bottom line
property.
is it has to be done.
Has to be done. Well, it's going to fall down, whether, so we need to do it at some point. But these are something that we need to budget for. So they're both completed reports on that.
Paul, on that quote, was that collapsing the septic also?
Pardon?
Was that also collapsing the septic? I didn't see it on there.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that.
You gotta add another 10 grand in that quote.
Well, what we probably should do is put a request for quotes.
No,
Maybe Mike needs to come up with, draft some specifics of what it has to include.
well, I'm under the impression it's only a cesspool back there. It might even be an old cistern.
But, and we're assuming,
Possibly made.
there's
Right.
definitely no oil tanks, or we...
No, there's an oil tank in the basement, but
That's gotta be a part of it.
no, well, that's part of this company's, that is part of his to remove the oil tank.
Okay. So, well,
Well, and actually, we have included backfill, debris, concrete, all street. Yeah, I'm not guessing that this is including in the covering up of the cistern.
So before you're gonna have to bid it out.
No, then you will have to, right. But we can make contact with them. I mean, if it's a cistern, by laws, you gotta do is pump it out and fill it with select fill. And cover it over.
It's not a cistern. The cisterns are water, septics, cesspools are septic. Cisterns are water.
Well, I understand that, but a lot of these houses around here, use old cisterns as their septic.
Who pumps them out?
So, some people do, I know, yeah, so. But anyway, so it's something further to look into, but this is giving you all an idea of what the numbers were.
Okay.
Because we have to think about that come the first of the year.
Excuse me. Okay, am I doing anything, or, because last month, we talked about it, and then Paul and I in between, and I knew he was just soliciting quotes, and I sent him our own report, whatnot, so I...
Do you want to try to follow up and get quotes, including...
No, I'm gonna try to follow up, but I need to read your report to see if there was, did your report include a septic situation on there? I didn't read the report, Michael, I just passed it on.
I don't think it...
I don't think it did.
It
I don't
did.
think so, yeah, it was more of a structure.
Structure, right.
We didn't get into...
I mean, it may have
This
mentioned it,
level.
but it was really for the purposes of...
Okay, so we need to follow up
You want
again,
to
that's
follow
all.
up, see how much
Yep.
for the
Yep.
cesspool and,
Yep.
the oil tank was already taken care of?
Oil tank was in the second bid, so.
Sit tight.
Sit tight. Yep.
If if you could, Paul, send me those, or maybe I'll make copies, the quotes you got, just
Yep,
before I leave.
yep.
Thank you.
Website hosting management in 2019, who has that on here?
I believe I added that for Kathleen and John Paul's conversation, Mark Antonio. I don't have his email in front of me tonight, but, we had gotten a letter from, was it LCR, I think they referred to, that they're not gonna be hosting anymore after, what was it, next year?
Yeah, I followed up with
End of
Cindy.
19 or something like that.
So-
2020, they're gonna have to retire.
John Paul had emailed us back and given us options. I didn't bring that email with me, I apologize. But it's something we're gonna have to deal with.
So we're bringing it up at the,
Yeah, I
2020?
actually reached out to Cindy about that. She had responded, I have to find the email. She was aware of something, but we'll follow up.
Okay. And next up is the Recreation Open Space Committee reorganization.
Did we start with that?
Huh?
That was one where I was requested to do the ordinance for, we're setting up the ordinance for open space, is that the?
No, I think this is more, we were talking about adding some members to the Open Space Committee.
Well, you'll have to ask him this, but if that's what you want to do now, I think you'd have to add it to the ad hoc. And then when he gets the ordinance together, transfer them to the...
Yeah.
So what you want to do, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you want to add them to the ad hoc?
Yeah, the current,
Okay.
yeah.
The
And then,
current committee right
we'll
now.
address it with the, because that's gonna take a couple of months by ordinance, we have to do that, so you
Right.
have a reading, second reading, hearing, so. We're talking about raising it from 5 to 9. I have come up with a couple of names that I'd like to put on the committee. Like Frank, you did, Brad, I think you have them, correct?
Yes.
So, I'm ready tonight to name, propose my 2 names. Are you ready to name somebody
Yeah.
tonight? Are you good tonight?
Yeah, I have a name. I just thought we were doing this January 1, so. But we can add it tonight, it's fine.
So, first of all, I'm making a motion to increase the number of people on the Open Space and Rec Committee, the Open Space Ad Hoc Committee from 5 to 9. So I'm making that motion to do that.
Is that a mayoral, the ad hoc, how does that work? Does he just get to appoint, or do you vote on it?
Just add it myself? No, don't have to make a motion? Okay, well,
You could just do it.
well, then
Is that-
I'm appointing Jim Butler and Brian Fellner to that committee. If
Yeah,
you- if you want
my recommendation was Dominic Esposito.
Dominic Esposito to it, and what's your name, Brad?
It's Peter Knotek, Knotek.
Okay. So, we're going to appoint I'm appointing Jim Butler, Brian Fellner, Dominic Esposito, and Peter Knotek to the ad hoc Open Space Committee. I guess that we're done with that then. Yeah, 9. We're going to go into executive session, but if the people from the public want, I'll move public comment up before that, so you don't have to sit in the hallway. So, I'm going to ask for a motion, but before we do it, as a result of the last meeting, several residents had expressed concerns that, I guess me, as I run the meeting, allow people to talk too long. So the rule has always been 3 minutes. I'm going to enforce the 3-minute rule. It's public comment, not public question. If you want to pose your comment in the form of a question, I have no problem with that. However, I'm going to ask the people up here not to respond to any of those questions until after we close public comment. After we close public comment, anybody who would like to address any comments or answer any questions, they feel free to. You're not obliged to answer any questions. But after they're answered, there's not going to be any more dialogue with people shooting the questions back up. Because people expressed, one, they feel like they were shortchanged the time to ask questions. Some people actually said last time they were afraid to get up and talk after what happened. So I think we got to get better control over it and express, do it that way. So anyway, with that, I'm looking for a motion to open public comment.
Can I ask a question, just to clear, is the 3 minutes just for the residents, or does that apply to the professionals too? Or-
The professionals use,
What if that was directed to
Well,
you?
I think so.
I'll make a motion to open it.
Yeah, okay. I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So anyone wishing to come up to the podium and make your public comment. Please state your name and address and make your case.
I can't just ask the question.
You can ask it in the form of a question, but you're not going to get an answer until we close public comment, okay?
I understand. My question is, so what, if anything, is going on with respect to affordable housing? My name is Bill Elliott, 13 Lawrence Boulevard.
Thank you, Mr. Hunt. Anyone else?
102 Foxton Road. I'm here, in April of 2016, I occurred while coaching my son's team baseball team. I found a rotator cuff in my bicep. At that time, I reached out to the baseball liaison, told them I was going to emergency, to bring all of my bills to the town clerk, and then we handled the insurance. That was not handled properly by the town clerk. I've been trying with the insurance company. I've reading out correspondence and giving them the bills. What I was told originally by the town clerk was she would submit all my bills for me, and then they would compensate me for that. That never happened. This is former council. So, eventually we got through to someone from Steve Julius from USI Insurance. And he said, I don't need invoices, I actually need the insurance bills. So I went to all the surgeons and physicians and got everything, got all the insurance codes, and he is not responding.
Wouldn't this be a...
So it's not $1 million, it's short of $700. About 60 paid that summer. We don't get paid this year, so that was one of my funds. I really just need to set it.
Okay, thank you.
Do you need...
We'll get back to you in a second, okay? Anybody else? Motion to close? Public comment?
Make the motion to close.
Okay, 1 second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Anybody want to address?
Yeah, I can address the affordable thing.
Okay.
So, where we have the Dumont site right now, which the last number on that site was 71 that we were looking for. So we had put out, the subcommittee had put out a request for qualifications to developers to build that site. We since then received proposals back from the developers, and the subcommittee reviewed all the proposals and came down with the top 4 that we'll be interviewing tomorrow all day. So that committee will make a recommendation to the town committee. They're going to rank them. Out of the 4 that we picked, we'll rank them. This is the one we think's the best to the worst. So that's where that's at. We don't have an exact number on that, so we can't really answer that. Some of them may want to go higher, some may want to go lower. We don't know. There are other things in the works we can talk about, so just know that what you may think is the final outcome or what's going to be done may not be what's going to happen. So we're hoping it's going to be something everybody's going to be happy with. Let me just put it that way. And I think really that's it. So we're working on something right now that we can't really discuss, and we're looking at the developers for the Dumont site. Once we have final answers on these pending things, then we'll be able to narrow down the numbers. So that's where we're at.
Frank, the only thing I'd add is that I think on the Dumont RFQs, we got, 8 or 9?
Something like that, yeah.
It's 8. I think there's pretty good interest in it.
The other issue, Lisa, are you aware of this problem?
No, Lisa's probably not. Let me chime in here because I'm aware of this. And Kevin's approached me, but because we're family, we've tried to avoid the conflict. But somewhere along the line, our previous clerk messed up on several occasions with paperwork. But with that being said, Steve Julius's office, I've communicated with them on a variety of occasions, and I got to tell you, it's a nightmare to speak with him in getting him to return phone calls or anything. My last conversation with him was that it's actually another insurance company that they paid as an underinsurance company to cover injuries on the sports field and such like that, and that's where the problem was. He told me he would get it taken care of.
Does that fall in like a workers' comp issue?
I would have initially thought so, but no, it doesn't. So to make a long story short, obviously Kevin's been in contact with somebody to get insurance codes, because I didn't know anything about that. I have let this drop off my radar, but I did know that it was out there. But I did speak with Steve probably 3 months ago, and he was supposed to follow up with me with the solution.
How about if we do this? He gives you all his paperwork, let's memorialize it with a letter to them, and start it that way, and then if we get no response, then we'll turn it over to the barrister.
I concur with Paul, he's not, so
Yeah.
I'm happy to do it.
Well, let's send it in writing, and then,
By the way, you have a 3-year commitment with PACE, but you can change your broker at any time.
Yeah.
That's the broker.
Well, and I've been contemplating that right along, right?
okay, so you're getting your paperwork to her, so that's copies you're willing to give her, right? Okay. I feel like Judge Judy. Let me have my bailiff come and take that paper. Okay. Looking for a motion to go into executive session to discuss pending litigation, the sewer mediation, contract negotiations, the police department, and personnel, urine, sick leave, and drug testing.
Can we have the land tech bill? Are we gonna approve that?
I was going to approve it right after we come out of executive.
Okay, they wanted to drop off.
Yep, no, I knew it, Kathleen, thank you.
Okay, anybody, I'm looking for a motion for executive, anybody want to make it?
I'll make a motion to go into
Second it.
executive.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy your night. Good football game on tonight.
Oh, who's playing tonight?
Saints and...
Saints and Dallas. This is a big one.
Do, and then we're done.
It's his spot.
Yeah, he does.
You know how you get your spot?
He sits and pisses right there every day in the mulch. Get out.
Okay, we're back
Okay,
in.
we're back on. It's 9:10 from executive session. During executive session, we discussed the contract negotiations, the police contract, and personnel. We discussed the urine sick leave and drug testing policies for the employee handbooks. So, with that, I'm looking for a motion to accept the sick time policy as discussed in executive session with the attorney. Anyone want to make the motion to accept that?
I'll make the motion to accept that.
Anybody second?
Second.
Roll call.
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Vivian?
Yes.
Mr. Marqueta?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm also looking for a motion to accept the drug testing policy as discussed in executive session with the attorney.
He's looking into that.
He's been in it.
He's gonna look into that.
Is that what we decided, Ann, with that?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind, last year was sure, I thought, okay, now I'm looking for a motion.
No, we got to a vote to approve the Land Tech Enterprise bill.
Okay, you making a motion to?
I will make a motion to pay bill number 18-01261, Land Tech Enterprises.
Second?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mayor Barsney?
Yes.
Mr. Vivian?
Yes.
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 Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks, guys.